students, welcome to our channel. Here we will discuss about some physics. Today our topic is just about introduction of electrostatics, that's Coulomb's law. Here, before Coulomb's law, we will know about electrostatics. Electrostatics is just about a part of physics where we will know or briefly discuss about fields, potentials, forces which are arising from static charges. What is static charges? We have knew about static charges in previous classes. Like two different kind of substances are rubbed each other, then they will lose some electrons, and the electrons will move one atom to another atom. That means another kind of atom. So the bodies will get positive charged or negative charged. Therefore, the charges are creating due to transfer of electrons. Here, electron transfer means creating charges. That means if charge of a body is Q equal to number of electrons into charge of electron. That means in our nature the least amount of charge is charge of electron. If a body is positively charged or negatively charged, that means a body has respectively less electron or much more electron. Less electron means it has much more protons, that means positive charges, or much more electron means negative charges. So Q equals to plus minus Ne. Plus will indicate the positive charge of the body, that means the number of electrons are less, and the negative charge means the number of electrons are much more. So this idea is called quantization of charges. If we take an isolated system means there will be no transfer of mass and energy between system and surroundings. That is isolated system. So there will be no transfer of electrons between system and surroundings. Then in an isolated system, the total charges are always remain constant. Here we will also know that charges neither be created nor be destroyed. It just a transfer of electrons between two bodies. Okay? Now we will discuss about Coulomb's law in electrostatic. Coulomb said that if we take two charges Q1 and Q2, then the attraction force or repulsion force will act through the line joining the center of charges, and the force, attraction force or repulsion force, will be directly proportional to the product of the charges. That means this force does not depend on individual charges, but this force depends on the product of the charges. If the product increases, then the force will be increased, and if the product decreases, then the force will be decreased. It is occurred when the distance between those charges is constant. That means if distance increases, the charges will be separated more, so the force will be decreased, and the distance decreased, the force will be increased. So the force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance of the charges. It occurs when the charges Q1 and Q2 are constants. Now, if these variables Q1, Q2 and R both changes, so Q1 and Q2 and R both changes. So from variation principle, we will know that F proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square. Here F equal to K Q1 Q2 by R square. K is Coulomb constant. Here the Coulomb constant K depends on two factors. First, the medium. Medium means the charges are placed in air or vacuum or water or mica, etc. That means first factor is medium, and the second factor is the unit system. Unit system means force, charges and distances are measured in which unit system, CGS system or SI system. If we take CGS system and air, medium or vacuum, then the Coulomb constant K will have the value of 1. Therefore, force will be Q1 Q2 by R square dyne. Now, if we take SI system and if we take air or vacuum, then the Coulomb constant K will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here epsilon naught is the permittivity of the air or vacuum. That means permittivity. What is permittivity? Permittivity means if we take a charge, then the penetrating power of the charge through that medium. Penetrating power means if we take a charge, the charge will feel some forces by the another charge. So the charge will move through that medium. When the charge will move through that medium, it will penetrate the medium. The penetrating power of the charge is called the permittivity of the medium. Permittivity epsilon naught of vacuum is 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12, and the unit is we have to know the unit of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught at first. It is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb to the power minus 2. Here the unit of epsilon naught will be the reciprocal of the unit. Reciprocal of the unit means Newton inverse meter to the power minus 2 Coulomb square. So we will apply this value in this formula for SI system. Then F will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square Newton. Then if we take another kind of medium, then epsilon naught will be changed. Then this will be permittivity of that medium. So the formula will be force equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. But we can't learn all the permittivity of the medium. So we have to know about dielectric constant at the medium. Dielectric constant means permittivity of any medium by permittivity of air or vacuum. This ratio is called dielectric constant of that medium. Here epsilon and epsilon naught have same dimension, same unit. So dielectric constant is dimensionless and unitless. Now we will discuss about vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form means if we take a 3D space XYZ plane, if we take two kinds of charges Q1 and Q2 and their position vectors are R1 vector and R2 vector, then the force on Q1 due to charge Q2 will be represented as F12 vector. That means force on charge Q1 due to charge Q2 equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by distance square. Distance between two charges will be represented as R12 vector. So this distance will be mod of R12 vector squares. this is a scalar quantity, but this is vector quantity. So if you want to make this vector, then we will multiply it unit vector. Unit vector means R12 cap. Unit vector will be at that direction where the force is acting. Force is acting in this direction, so unit vector will be this. Here we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by mod of r12 vector squares. Now if we take this unit vector just like this, that means vector by that's magnitude. So this will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by mod of r12 vector q into r12 vector. This is the force of or force on q1 charge due to charge q2. If we take force on charge q2 due to charge q1, then that will be f21 vector. That will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r21 vector cube mod of r21 vector cube, and that will be r21 vector. Here r21 vector represent this distance, r12 vector also represent this distance. So the distance will be same, therefore their mod value will be same, but the difference will created by r12 vector equal to minus r21 vector. So from this and from this we will have f12 vector equal to minus of f21 vector. If we take this as action force, then it will be its reaction. So Coulomb's law agrees with Newton's third law of motion, that is vector form of Coulomb's law. Done. If you have any kind of questions, then you can ask me in my Instagram link which is given in about of this channel.